In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a bulging eye that could be used for your sock puppet, also showing you how to attach a button to an eye for more effect. So here you can see a couple of eyes that have been done just that conventional way. This one is a little more interesting. It has some bloodshot lines through it, so let's get started. I'll move these aside. You start with a circle. You cut out a circle out of whatever fabric you choose for your color for your eye. You need to look at the first video or one of the earlier videos on my list that says the running stitch, because it shows you how to do a running stitch, and you do that stitch around the perimeter of the eye. Once you finish that stitch, you don't tie off your thread, you just leave it here with the needle, because eventually you'll draw it up like a drawstring to close off the eye. Now we're ready for the button. We're going to put it in the center of the eye, so I'm going to take a second needle that I have threaded and knotted and ready to go, and I'm going to just pull it straight up into the center of that circle, and then go ahead and put my button on. And just a quick stitch up and down. This button has 4 holes, so I've come up and down 2. I'm going to flip over and kind of guesstimate, feel your way around, see if you can find that other set of 2 holes. There we go. Coming up and then again just going down. Button is attached. It's in the middle. That's great. I'm going to flip it over and just do a quick tie off to secure it with a knot. You might consider sewing it a couple of times, going up and down a couple of times through the holes just to make it a little more secure. I'm just doing this for speed and efficiency more than anything. So go ahead and cut your threads, flip it over. It's essentially ready to go. All you need to do now is you need to stuff your eyeball. And so you're going to go ahead and take some of your stuffing. If you don't have any stuffing handy, you can use fabric scraps. There's nothing wrong with taking some old fabric, crumple it up. If it's the same color, it's actually great because it even matches. So this could be your cotton stuffing if you have cotton balls around the house. Otherwise, go ahead and use your scrap fabrics that you've got on hand and just put it in the middle. Draw it up so that you close. It's just like a little drawstring bag now. And you can go ahead and tie a knot. Make sure you pull the thread fairly tight when you're tying your knot. I like to just grab a little bit of the fabric underneath the loop. So there's my big loop coming into the center of the loop with my needle, just like they showed in the video, the first video, how to tie a knot. And just go ahead and make that knot. And there you have it. Button is done. Eyeball is done. My threads snapped. Sorry about that. Normally they don't. I just wanted to show you one more idea here. This is like sort of a googly monster eye with kind of bloodshot look to it. It's the same process, same idea. You just have to add those design lines in to get that red bloodshot look. So here is the setup for that eye. I've got the same circle of fabric. I running stitched around the edge to create a perimeter. Keep that thread and needle handy. Don't cut it. Just leave it in there to draw it up at the end. Then I took my red thread and I just ran a series of running stitches kind of from end to end, long, scraggly, all sort of heading towards the center so it looks like it's going into the middle of the eye. Once that's done, you can go ahead and choose whatever you want to use for your eyeball, and you can just sew it into the middle there. And then it's the same idea where you just simply fill it from the wrong side and use that running stitch thread and needle to just draw it up. When you're done, you'll end up with another style of eye. You don't have to get this fancy. You can keep it simple. Nothing wrong with sewing some buttons on. You've seen now how I did a button on here. There's a ton of YouTube videos if you need more of YouTube guidance to sew buttons. You can also just cut shapes out of fabric. So this here is a felt shape. I'll probably end up using it for a nose or something, but you can cut your fabric into any shape and just simply sew it on with a running stitch as well. Whatever works for you.